Good morning. So today we'll start with the session. Sorry, good afternoon. Today we'll start with the session with the underpinning. Today's class will start with the topic underpinning. This is the last topic in the unit 4. So already we discussed about the formwork, scaffolding, former scaffolding and the shoring. The last one is the underpinning. So for this topic, in this topic, what are the elements that we are going to be covered in the underpinning is that how you define the underpinning and which circumstances are where we had to be apply this underpinning and what are the different methods that we had to be carrying out to go for the underpinning, or we can say that what are the objectives that require the underpinning, in which circumstances, which situations we have to go for the underpinning, and what are the methods of the underpinning that will be suitable for the building constructions. In simple definition, we can say that the underpinning is that we had to be go for the strengthening of the foundations for the existing structure. The first simple definition is that one, strengthening of the foundations for existing structure that we had to be provided is known as the underpinning. So when this will be required, strengthening of the foundation, when will be required, means that there are the several cases will be there in that. So few important cases are, one is, so we want to improve that the strength of the foundations if you are going for higher number of floors or more number of stories is going to be constructed, and in the beginning of the construction we are going to be designed only for one story or the single room, say a residential building, then we have to go for the two-storied building or three-storied building. So we are going to be enhancing that the number of stories or the number of floors. Automatically, whatever we provided in the beginning of the construction or the existing construction, foundation is not going to be sufficient enough to taken care of that the loads if we are going to be enhancing that the number of stories. So that is the one case. Another case is that one, so we are going to provide the foundation. After a few years, the foundation is not going to be sufficient enough. So then we want, so then we have to go for, because of, so we are going to be adding that any components, automatically it is going to be demanding that the foundation is going to be improved, foundation is going to be improved. So that is the another case we are going for the strengthening of the foundations. Third case is that one, it is going to be called as very weak soil conditions, very weak soil conditions, and we have to be improved the bearing capacity of the soil, or that we are going to be called as soil stabilization. We are going to be stabilizing that the soil such that so bearing capacity is going to be improved, or the foundation of the soil is going to be improved. This is, we can say that the waterlogged areas, where the waterlogged areas, so the bearing capacity of the soil is very weak, and whatever we constructed in that waterlogged areas, we had to enhance that the property of the soil. In that cases also we are going to be using that the underpinning operations. Or we can say that there are the three stages will be there. One is we have to be go for protective works, another one is going to be called as remedial works, and another one is going to be called as repair works. These are the three different stages we are going to be applying that the underpinning. Now we will see that one by one. So how you define and various situations demanding that the underpinning, then what are the methods of the underpinning we are going to be provided. So you see that we see that already we discussed the define. Here we can once again we can go through that one. Underpinning is a method for repair and strengthening of building foundations. Already we discussed that repairing, but here so the more we are going to be focused on strengthening of the foundation. Second thing is there are the situations where a failure in foundation or footing happens unexpectedly after the completion of the whole structure, both sub and superstructure. Substructure will be having that the foundation, superstructure will be having that the beam, column, and slabs that we are going to provide the structural elements. In any case, so the it doesn't have that the load handling capacity, then we can able to go for that. So repairing has to be done by using that underpinning. Under such an emergency situation, whatever we referred to points, one is the strengthening of the foundation and failure of the foundation. In that emergency situation, a remedial method has to be suggested to regain the structural stability. So finally, we have to be get that the structural stability such that your building is going to be safe. So that we are going to be achieving by using the underpinning technique. The method of underpinning helps to strengthen the foundation of an existing building or any other infrastructure. One is for the existing building, or any infrastructural facilities that we are going to be added. For that also we have to be improved at the foundation, strengthening capacity by using that the underpinning. So this involve installation of permanent or temporary support to an already held foundation so that additional depth and bearing capacity is achieved. So we have to be support the existing one and then carry out that repair work or the strengthening of the foundation. This is the first stage, is that we have to be support the existing structure, then we have to go for strengthening of the foundation. So that we are going to be called at that stage, we are going to be called as underpinning. So then, so the in construction or renovation, either you are going for the new construction or you are going for renovating. When we have to go for renovating, we are going to be adding that the more number of stories or more number of the rooms we are going to be added to the existing one. Automatically load handling cost of the structure has to be increased. Then it is not going to be sufficient enough of the same foundation. So that's why in construction or renovation, underpinning is the process of strengthening foundation of an existing building or other structure. Once again, I'm repeating that underpinning may be necessary for variety of reasons. What are that one? The original foundation is not strong or stable enough. Already I told you that, we discussed that original foundation is not strong or stable. That is the first case. Second case is that the usage of the structure has changed. Means initially we are going to be using that the structure is going to be called residential building. We change it to that multi-story apartment or multi-story building. More number of stories is going to be increased. Otherwise, the same residential building I may be used for so storage purposes, storage building, or I may be used for an industrial building. This is the structure has changed. Then obviously we have to be see that whether the foundation is going to be sufficient enough to taken care of the loads or not. That's why the usage of the structure has changed. Then automatically we have to go for the strengthening of the foundations will be needed. The properties of the soil supporting the foundation may have changed. Means bearing capacity of the soil is going to be changed or mischaracterized during design. We are not so calculated properly that the bearing capacity of the soil, and then we have to be rectify it, and we have to be use the stabilization process, and we can able to strengthening that the existing soil. So that is we are going to call as stabilization. The construction of nearby structures necessitates the excavation of the soil supporting existing foundation. Nearby structures, they are going for the excavation, then automatically the bearing capacity of the soil has to be for the existing foundation is going to be decreased. Then we have to be support that one, and we are going for the underpinning operation. Then to increase the depth or load capacity of the existing foundations to support the addition of another story of the building, already we discussed the same thing. Increase the depth or the number of stories is going to be increased. Automatically the depth of the foundation has to be improved, or depth of the foundation is going to be increased. It is more economical due to land price or otherwise to work on the present structures foundation than to build a new one. Instead of I'm going to be building for a new construction or a new building, what I am going to be doing is the existing structure has to be built two more stories or two more floors. I am going to be so constructed because of the land price increase or the increases. Instead of that one, I have to go for the new one. I can able to construct the number of stories is going to be increased, enhance the number of stories. So then in that stage or in that circumstances, we require the underpinning operation. And last one is going to be called as natural calamities. Earthquake, flood, drought, or other natural causes have caused the structure to move or requiring stabilization of foundations of soil and our footing. So these will be causes that we have to be improved at the bearing capacity of the soil, earthquake or the flood or the drought. In these circumstances or whatever we listed out, and these are the cases we will go for the underpinning. I hope you understand that what is the underpinning when we have to go for the underpinning operation. The engineer has to be understand that what is the problem. For that problem, what is the rectification we have to be applied. So where the problem is going to be arises, what is the reason for that one, whether we are going to be increasing the number of stories or whether we are going for improving the soil characteristics, or we are going to be improving the depth of the foundations to go additional number of stories we are going to be provided. Next, types of the works for selection of underpinning methods. Already we discussed various causes that we have to go for the underpinning. That way they have been simplified manner. We are going for conversion works. So this already now just now we discussed about that one. Residential building is going to be converted into the storage room, storage buildings. A residential building is going to be converted into the industrial building. residential building is going to be, simple residential building is converted into the multi-story apartment. This is known as the conversion works. So conversion works, production works, and remedial works. Once again, so we can see that underpinning methods is that one is conversion, another one is going to be called as production works, other last one is going to be called as remedial works. Production works is going to be called as soil stabilization, improving that the foundation soil, improving the soil characteristics such that which soil we are going for the foundation treatment we are going to be provided. Remedial works, so because of natural calamities, what is the structure causes, where the structure causes failures are there, so that failures has to be rectified, and what the problem for that one, and then we had to be improving that the characteristics of the soil or improving the characteristics of the foundations. So that is going to be called as remedial works. So the conversion works, the structure has to be converted to another function which requires stronger foundation compared to the existing one. That's already I told you that conversion works, residential to converted to commercial building, or residential is going to be converted to multi-story apartments. Production works. So the existing foundation is not strong or stable, or nearby excavation would affect the soil that supports the existing footing. Because of heavy excavation is going to be done, adjacent structure is also is going to be having a problem because of heavy excavation. Stabilization of the foundation soil to resist against natural calamities, requirement of basement below an already existing structure. So these are, we are going to be called as production works. So then remedial works means we are not calculated properly that the bearing capacity. Mistakes in initial foundation design caused subsidence of the structure, or we can say that the settlement of the foundation is going to be taken place because of miscalculation. So then work on present structure than building a new one. Instead of we are going for the new construction, the same construction is going to be continued, or the enhancement is going to be provided to that the number of stories, such that we are going to be improving that the foundation properties. This is the remedial works. Then structural conditions which require underpinning, where the underpinning we are going for that one. The degradation of the timber piles used as a foundation for normal buildings would cause settlement. This degradation structure due to the water table fluctuations is all we are going to be giving that the, so the before the floods and before the heavy rainfall and after the rainfall, how the structure is going to be behaves. This is going to be called the major cause for the underpinning. So or we are going to call the bearing capacity of the soil is going to be decreases, then we have to go for enhancement. So where we are using the piles, the timber piles, that is not sufficient enough to taken care of the loading condition, then that is the one case. Rise and lowering of the water table can cause a decrease of the bearing capacity of the soil, making the structure to settle. Rise and lowering of the water table, when it is going to happen, that is the fluctuation in the water table mainly for the rainfall. Sometimes we don't have any rainfall, sometimes heavy rainfall will be there. This is going to be fluctuating that the water table, that will be causes that the settlement, foundation settlement is going to occur. Structures that are built over a soil with a bearing capacity not suitable for the structure would cause settlement. Proper bearing capacity of the soil has to be estimated before we are going for any type of the construction, because residential building, what is, how many number of stories are there, what is the bearing capacity of the soil to be there. If multi-story apartments, what is the bearing capacity of the soil will be there. If the commercial building, what is the bearing capacity of the soil will be there. If you are going for industrial building, what is the bearing capacity of the soil. So in the beginning, we have to be estimate the bearing capacity of the soil, and based on the requirement, we can go further the construction of number of stories or simple residential building or type of the building. Then now we are going to be coming to that the methods of underpinning. This is the heart of the topic. What are the different methods that we are going to be used to go for the strengthening of the foundation. Our main aim or objective is that one, strengthening of the foundation or the repair works has to be done to get that the structural stability of the building. So methods of the underpinning is first, the 6 methods are available. So for majority cases we are going to be using for these are the 6 methods, or we can say that the frequently used methods for the underpinning. Mass concrete underpinning method or pit method, underpinning by cantilever needle beam method, pier and beam underpinning method, mini piled underpinning method, pile method of underpinning, precast method of underpinning. So these all the 6 methods is going to be is going to be used depending upon that what is the depth of excavation we are going to be done, or depth of foundation treatment we are going to be doing. So if you take that the first case, mass concrete underpinning method, only for shallow depths like the shallow footing, deep footing, or the deep foundation we are going to use. So shallow foundation or the deep foundation will be there. So similarly here for the shallow foundation treatment, we'll go for mass concreting, and others, second method, third, four, and five, six methods, we are going for the deep foundation techniques. Deep foundation techniques we are going to be provided, where we had to be go for more strengthening will be required than your for. So the normal building we require only for shallow foundation, or the shallow treatment of the underpinning will be sufficient enough. That is we are going to be called as mass concrete underpinning method or the pit method. We are going to be driven the pits or the trenches, and we are doing that the concreting, and make sure that your foundation reaches to that the hard level, foundation reaches to that the sufficient bearing capacity. Then we have to be then you have to be complete the construction process, or we are going to be called a strengthening process. Underpinning by cantilever needle beam method, this is going for shallow excavation. Pier and beam underpinning method also shallow excavation. Mini piled underpinning, pile method of underpinning, and precast method of underpinning. Now we go for the mass concrete underpinning method. What is mass concrete underpinning method? Because whatever the six methods I explained, so whatever may be the types of underpinning method selected for strengthening the foundation, all of them follow a similar idea. See, all the six treatments will be having similar idea of extending the existing foundation, either lengthwise or breadthwise. This is the most important parameter we have to understand. Whatever may be the method we are going to apply, so we are going for extending existing foundation either lengthwise or the breadthwise. Extending the existing foundation either the lengthwise or the breadthwise, and to be laid over a stronger soil stratum. This enables distribution of load over a greater area. So we are enhancing that the bearing capacity of the soil in such a way that length and width and such that our underpinning process is going to be effective. Our underpinning method is going to be effective. Now, first method, mass concrete underpinning method or the pit method. So mass concrete underpinning method is the traditional method of underpinning as it has been followed by centuries. This is the oldest method we are going to be using for simple cases. I already explained that for only simple cases. The method involves extending the old foundation till it reaches the stable stratum. We are going for the excavation of the trench or excavation of the pit to reach that the stable stratum. The soil below the existing foundation is excavated in a controlled manner through the stages or the pins. By stage wise, we are going for that one. When strata is suitable is reached, the excavation is filled with concrete and kept for curing before next excavation is going to be started. For entire the building, we are going for stage by stage, or we are going for pit by pit. Trenches we are going to be driven, and we had to be selected lengthwise and breadthwise such that we can able to complete one by one, or the alternative basis the concreting has to be done, and we had to be complete the process of the underpinning. In order to transfer the load from old foundation to new one, a new pin is provided. There is joint we are going to be provided by means of placing dry sand cement pack. This is low cost method suitable for the shallow foundation. Already I told you that shallow foundation technique. So this is the diagram is going to be explaining you about that one. This is the existing structure, and below that we can able to see that 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 1. These are all we are going to be naming as the pits, or the trenches will be there, and one is length direction and widthwise direction we are going to be provided, because alternatively we are going forward. You can see that the 1 and 1 will be there, 2, 3, so 1 beginning and ending, 2, so 3, 4, 5. So 1, then we have to go for 3. Then here also we are going to be given lengthwise direction also. That is the base or the trenches we are going to be provided. Here this is the sectional elevation. We can able to see that one. This is the existing one. Then for that the footing we are going to be provided below. This is going to be called a joint. This is a pinning up is going to be provide the joint extending our. So there's a mass concreting underpinning we are going to be provided. This is we are going for enhancement of your foundation treatment by using that the mass concrete underpinning. Above that you can able to see that one. This is the existing structure, and below that existing footing. Then we are going to provide for the pinning up. There is going to be called a joint. We are going to be, or the extendability. The concreting work is going to be extended. Now we can able to see that in general also we are going to be extending the column. So then we are going to provide the cap. We are going to be provided such that next day we are going to be continuing from there itself. We cannot go for directly the length of the column will be go for 20 meters, 30 meters, or like that. So one day we can go how much length will be there. Up to that we are going to be preparing the formwork, then we are going to be completing that the column, then next day we are extending the formwork for the other length we are going to be provided. So that is we are going to be called as the joint we are going to be provided, or the pinning up we are going to be provided. So then we are going to be extending, then we are going to be done the concreting, and like this is only for here we are done. Like this we are going to be provided for all, wherever the trenches will be there, all the trenches we are going to be filled like this, and make sure that your foundation stability is going to be increased. Foundation stability is going to be increased. At a stretch we will do that one. Why they are taken the trenches like that base are going to be taken. At a stretch if we taken, then the disturbances will be there for your existing structure. We cannot control that the above the ground floor what the structure is going to be existing, that one. That's why we are going to be doing that stage by stage, and base by base we are going to be doing the concreting. Alternatively we are going to be providing, so then we are going to be filling all the base with the concreting, and make sure that is the rigid platform we are going to be constructed, and improve that the bearing capacity, and improve that the foundation, that is improve that the foundation requirement. This is about the mass concreting method. And one more diagram also is there, you can able to see that one. Existing masonry wall, dam proof course, and this is whatever we are going to provide. This is completely vibration concrete, compacted concrete. You have done the concreting. This is the enhancement of the concreting we are going to be done for the existing one. Concrete dry packing, this is the joint we are going to be provided. Then we are going for that mass concreting, and to go for the improvement of the bearing capacity of the soil for the existing construction. That's why it is going to be called mass concreting, and simple method to improve the bearing capacity of the soil, to improve the foundation requirement. This is only for shallow depth. This is only for shallow. You have to remember that for shallow depths only. If you are going for the deeper depth, other methods we are going to be using. This next one is going to be called as underpinning by cantilever needle beam method. So here we are going for, so the like a cantilever beam, needle beam we are going to provided. In that one is the column is going to be, existing column is going to be very strong, and other side the foundation treatment we are going to be provided. In such cases we are going to be using that cantilever means one is the fixed, other is going to be free. Then that is going to be provided by using the hydraulic jack, and we'll go for only one side of the foundation treatment we are going to be provided. Previous case in pit method, what we done is entire building we are going to be provided, not in one side, entire building, length and width direction, entire building we are going to be provided that the foundation treatment. In this case, only one side of the building we are going to be provided by using the underpinning by cantilever needle beam method. Figure 2, I will show that figure 2 represents the arrangement of the cantilever pit method of underpinning, which is an extension of pit method. What we did the pit method, for that extension we are doing here in cantilever beam technique. If the foundation has to be extended only to one side, already told you one side, and the plan possesses a stronger interior column, this method can be used for underpinning. The interior column is going to be acting as a fixed one, and we are going for the beam. We are going to provide cantilever needle beam. We are going to provide it with the hydraulic jack, and make sure that we are going for the trench, and we are going to be strengthening of the foundation. So what are the advantages if you go for cantilever needle beam method? Faster than traditional method. What we done for pit method. Pit method for entire building, it will consumes more time. One side access only, high load carrying capability. Disadvantages is that one, during uneconomical when existing foundation is deep. If the existing foundation is very deep, it's going to be uneconomical. Construction access restrict the use of needle beams. So constraint in access restrict the use of the needle beams. So that is also the disadvantage, that needle beams will not give the stability to go for the extension of the foundation. That is the disadvantage. So this is the diagram is going to be giving us the cantilever needle beam underpinning method. This is interior column. Already I told you that interior column will be having the strong support. Existing interior column or loaded pedestal. This is the needle beam, hydraulic jack. Such that we have to be go for the fixing of this to the wall. This is the existing wall to be protected. Here the foundation treatment we are going to be provided. This whatever we are going to be done with the dotted lines is going to be giving us foundation treatment. This we are going to be called as trench, or the pit we are going to be driven. Earlier case we done for entire building length and width wise, but here in this case only one side of the building we are going to be done for one wall, existing wall we are going to run, where the foundation is going to be weak. For that wall are there. For that case only we are going to be taken into the consideration, and we are going to be improving that one. This is we are going to be called as cantilever needle beam underpinning method. Only one side, and is going to be restricted to go for the foundation treatment. Next one is the pier and beam underpinning method. So this is why you are going for a deep excavation method. Earlier 1 and 2 method is going for shallow excavation. Now we are going for pier and beam underpinning method is going to be called as piers is going to be driven. There is a columns. So piers, and we are going to be driven if that is the foundation is going to be very loose or waterlogged areas. Whatever maybe the foundation we are going to be using that is unsafe, then we are going to call for the pile foundation, or the pier we are going to be driven such that it is going to make sure that your foundation is going to be strong. So that is known as the pier and beam underpinning method. It is also termed as a base and beam method, which was implemented after the Second World War. This method progressed because the mass concrete method could not work. Mass concrete method only for shallow treatment. But if you go for deeper, so well, for huge depth of the foundation, it could not work for huge depth of the foundation is not sufficient. That is the pit method. It is found feasible for most of the ground conditions. Here, reinforced concrete beams are placed to transfer the load to the mass concrete bases or piers. Beam or pier is going to be prepared as shown in figure 3. I will show you that one. The size and depth of the beams are based on the ground conditions and applied loads. What is the ground condition will be there, and what is the total load that has to be carried. That is so that is to be carried. So because we are going for 2 stories or 3 stories or 4 stories, we are going to be enhancing, or we are going to be adding that the number of stories based on that one, and as well as what is the ground condition will be there, we are going for pier and beam underpinning method. Applied loads, it is found economical for depth shallower than 6 meters. So up to 6 meters, we are going for this technique, pier and beam. So this is we can able to see that one. If you see that in pit method, entire building we are having that length direction with direction, we are going to driven the pits. Here we are going for the piers. You can able to see that in length direction piers we are going to be created. Or we can say, if you understand that pile we are going to be created for each and length direction, which direction we are going to be provided. That itself is going to be acting as that your foundation treatment. Instead of pit, we are going to be doing that vibrating the piers and concreting the piers, and make sure that your foundation requirements has to be enhanced. So this is the plan view, and this you can able to see that the sectional view how this is the pier, and this is the pier, the pier we are going to be doing, this is the beam, and this is the joint we are going to be provided. So like this we are going to be using the pier and beam underpinning method. We are going to be done for the deeper depths. We are going for deeper depths of the foundation treatment has to be done. Then we obviously we have to be selected for the pier and beam underpinning method. Next, mini piled underpinning. This is also similar to the previous case, only for how much depth will be reached. This distance is greater than 5 meters. This method can be implemented where the loads from the foundation have to be transferred to strata located at a distance greater than 5 meters. Depth of the foundation treatment will be restricted to the more than 5 meters. Then we are going for mini piles. The pier or the piles, mini piles we are going to be created, and to go for the enhancement of the foundation treatment. This method is adaptable for soil that has variable nature, and means strata to strata the soil properties is going to be changed. Some cases here, if you go for 5 meters, if you go for 7 meters, if you go for 10 meters also, the property is not going to be changed. The soil property is not going to be changed. It is uniform property of the soil will be there. Sometimes we are going for filled up soil. Entire ground is going to be filled up. In that cases, that is known as the strata. The soil properties is going to be changed from strata to strata, means the filled up soils will be there. That is the case, we will go for the foundation treatment by using that mini piles. Access is going to be restrictive and causes environmental pollution problems. Piles of diameter between 150 to 300 meters in diameter is driven, which may be either augured or driven steel cased one. Like boring, how we are going to be done here, the driven piles we are going to be done for, so the greater than 5 meters are the restricted. So we cannot go for the pits. Driving of the pits is not going to be possible. So then we are going for the piling. Piling has to be done, or the mini piles we are going to be done. Then pile method of underpinning. Fifth method is pile method of underpinning. In this method, piles are driven on adjacent sides Earlier previous cases, we are going for mini pile or the pyre method. Pyre method, what we have done that entire building we are going to be done. Here only in one side only we are going to pile method of underpinning. In this method, piles are driven on adjacent sides of the wall that supports the weak foundation. A needle or pin penetrates to the wall that is turned connected to the pile shown figure. These needles behave like a pile caps. The settlement in soil due to the water logging and clay nature can be treated by this method. Where waterlogged areas, water clogging will be there, and the clay nature of the soil, this pile method of underpinning is going to be suitable. You can go through the diagram. So this is one existing wall. For that, the foundation we are going to be provided, and then we are going to be provided with the piles at the adjacent sides. We are going for the piles to enhance that the foundation treatability, or we can say that the foundation improvement has to be done. This is not for the entire building. This is only for in a particular case where we are seeing that the foundation is going to be weak. In that particular, in that point only, we are going to be provided that the underpinning by pile method. Previous one is going to be called as mini pile method, as well as we are going for pyre method. For entire building we are going to be done. Entire building we are going to be done length and widthwise direction. But here underpinning by pile method accepted, or it is going to be applicable only for where it is going to be called as weak foundations are there in a entire structure. So that is the differences will be there with underpinning by pile method. And previously we discussed that pile method of underpinning, and another one is going to be called pyre method. Next, last one is going to be called a pre-test method of underpinning. It means it's the precast one. The precast one, it is employed for strip or pad foundation. Strip foundations where will be there are more number of stories. More number can be used for building with 5 to 10 stories. Here the subsoil is made compact and compressed in the new excavation level that gives predetermined loads to the soil. This is done before underpinning is performed. Here reduced noise and disruption is expected. This method cannot be implemented for raft foundation. Only for strip foundation, or we can say that the so the stepper foundation we are going to be doing, or isolated foundation footings we are going to be provided this precast method of underpinning. More number of stories will be there. Then this is the we are going to be prepared in advance before we are going for the underpinning excavation, and then we are going for the pre-test method of underpinning done, or the precast. We can say that the precast method of underpinning we are going to be done by using the concreting. This is the last method is we are going to be using for more number of stories, and it will take more time to go for that giving the treatment itself. And now we can go for the various picture figures that will be there, how we can able to see that. This is we are going to be called as a trench method. First one, pit method. Whatever we discussed at the pit method, you can see that the existing building below that the pit is going to be driven. Then they have to go for the how much hard strata is going to be, where the hard strata will be available. Up to that we are going to be driven the trench. Then we have to go for the treatment of the foundation is going to be done. So this is we can able to see that in this picture we can able to understand that what is the pit method and how we are going to be using the underpinning technique. Then this is also a schematic diagram is going to be explaining that how we are going to be doing the underpinning method. Stage 1 is drive system, means we are going to be pile, so it's going to be driven. Stage 2 is lift system, means we are going to be lifting that the existing building, then we have to carry out the underpinning operation. Lifting by using the hydraulic jacks. Only we saw that cantilever beam method, cantilever needle beam method. We are going to be lifting that the existing structure, then we have to go for underground by using the underpinning operation. So one is drive system, and we have to be driven, and second is going to be called lift system. We are going to be lifting the existing structure, then we have to go for the underpinning operation. And this we can able to see that how, so the existing the building we are going for the, this is we are going for the deep excavations, how the underpinning is going to be carried. This is also we can able to see that the more number of stories are there, how we are going for deeper excavation, how we are going to be driven at the piles, and we are going to be improving the foundation stability. So I hope you understand that what is the underpinning and what are the methods of underpinning of the today's class. With this completely, we are going to be completing that form work, scaffolding, shoring, and underpinning. And tomorrow also the same time we will meet you 12:15. Tomorrow will, because these are all somewhat advanced topics. Whatever we discussed, form work, scaffolding, shoring, and underpinning will be somewhat advanced topics in the building materials construction planning. And tomorrow's class will go for the what is meant by the plastering and pointing. So that is are the simple topics we can able to understand very easily, because these are the topics we never seen. This is we have to go through the diagrams and go through the physically where we are going to be doing. So the physical site. So that is we are going to be having that. So if you visit that the site and how they are going to be carried out, only you can able to understand that one. Visualization is more important for these topics. While you are going for underpinning or you are going for shoring and underpinning is somewhat tougher. Only visualization will be more important. So because scaffolding you can able to understand any construction you go through there while you are going walking through the streets, new building is going to be constructed, we can able to understand what is the scaffolding, and also the form work you can able to understand very easily. But these are somewhat typical topics in that one. You can able to understand means you had visualization or you have to go for the site visit, can able to understand the underpinning and the shoring operations. Any doubts?